Alrighty, it is 2 o'clock, which means it's time for another Cooking with Baber. We could do a little bit later today. Last time we did 1 o'clock. Today we're trying 2 o'clock. Next time we'll try maybe 4 o'clock. Who knows? Trying to find a time that works for folks. We got a lot to do today, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. I've switched up the cameras, so if you're watching it live or you're watching it later, let me know if this is better. Last time I had the main camera, the big one, and then the cutting board camera, the little one. We're going to switch it up, see if this is better. I also did what I normally don't love to do, which is to do a little bit of prep in advance. Because once again, got a lot of stuff to do, and some of this stuff needed to be sitting out for an hour or more. So want to make sure that we get this all done. So I went ahead and did some of that. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Today we're making summer rolls and Imperial rolls. Both are things that I love to eat. Summer rolls I love to make. I've never actually made Imperial rolls before, so I'm excited to give that a try. But basically the summer rolls are like the fresh rolls, or like the rice paper wraps that you've probably seen. I usually have a bunch of these just in the cabinet ready to go at any time. They're a great party dish. You lay out all the ingredients, and then, you know, on like a kitchen island or, you know, a kitchen table or whatever, and everybody can kind of go around and make their own rolls. Really, really tasty dipping sauces. This is basically an excuse to just eat peanut sauce. And then the Imperial rolls, again, one of my favorite things. They are the same thing, but with a totally different filling. So it's, you know, ground pork, shrimp, some vermicelli or bean thread noodles, and then a bunch of vegetables. And those are actually deep fried. And then you wrap them up with a bunch of herbs in lettuce wraps, and then dip it in a very similar sort of fish sauce. Again, one of my favorite things. I love to eat them. Can't wait to try them. So the only things that I've really prepped ahead of time, I cut up a bunch of carrot and jicama into just kind of like sort of matchstick, like you know, about as small as you can make them. Oh good, my camera has disconnected. This is off to a good start here. Oh, let's see, will this come back? Hello, please. Maybe? All right, anyways, so jicama, which is like this root vegetable, it's got an interesting texture. It's almost like pear-like, but it's obviously just not sweet. Very starchy, kind of pretty tasty raw. We're gonna put this in, I believe, both of the rolls. Same with carrot. This is just kind of drying because for the Imperial rolls, we want them to be as dry as possible on the inside, because the more moisture that's inside when you're deep frying, the more likely you are to have big blowouts and, you know, disasters. So what we wanted to get started with right away, beyond this, and this needs to sit out for about an hour or so. I did this about half an hour ago, is our noodles. So we're gonna go ahead and get some warm water in a bowl. So I'm just gonna use tap water. And then I've got some water boiling for the rice vermicelli, which is what's going to be for the summer rolls. So I'm going to go ahead and just get that on a boil so that it's all set and ready. Apologies in advance for everybody who I'm about to set off Google timers for, but hey Google, start a timer for 3 minutes.
Sure, 3 minutes.
And then you don't need like super hot water, but you know, just kind of tap warm is fine for the which ones are these? The bean thread noodles. So these are made with mung bean sprouts. You've probably seen these before. They turn into like clear noodles, or glass noodles, some people call them, I think. But very, very tasty. You probably could use the rice vermicelli for the Imperial rolls. I think traditionally you want to use these bean thread noodles. I don't think I would want to use the bean thread noodles for the summer rolls, but you know, it's kind of all pretty similar stuff, so not a huge deal. We're going to need to make a couple of sauces, so we're going to go ahead and get started with that. One of my favorite sauces is like the fish dipping sauce, and the trick to this one that I was taught a really long time ago is basically like you want to start by making lemonade. So water, well, limeade, I guess. Water, lime juice, and sugar, and it should taste like delicious limeade. And then you add your fish sauce so that it, you know, kind of balances it out. Like, so this type of cooking is all about balance, right? Like, it's not overly one directional, right? Like you don't want it to be too spicy or too salty or too sour. It's kind of all of those flavors working together. So we're gonna give our noodles a little stir here. And these, I think both noodles you could probably get away with not boiling. You could probably just soak them. This said to boil them, so I'm gonna do that. But let's go ahead and get started with the limeade. So again, a little bit of water. I'm gonna kind of eyeball this and we'll see how it goes. Get a couple of limes here. Whenever you're juicing citrus, if you give it a nice little roll, it'll break it up a little bit inside and make it easier to juice. If you really want to go crazy, you can throw it in the microwave for, 10, 15 seconds and it'll really juice much, much better, much easier. So one thing I've seen it's very common is people will use these citrus juicers incorrectly. They'll put it in like this. And that's actually wrong. You want to put it in like this so you actually can squeeze the juice out and it doesn't explode all over you. Or you just drop it because there's a camera in your way and it's really hard to do all this stuff like this. I might have put too much water in here, but we're going to find out. There's a standard ratio for lemonade. I'm not thinking of it off the top of my head, but if anybody in the chat wants to look it up, it's something like... not even gonna guess. It's like 3 parts water to 1 part sugar to 1 part lime juice or something like that. But again, we're just gonna give it a taste. Hey Google, stop. Oh, and somebody else told me that I can stop saying "Hey Google" when I'm telling it to stop the timer. That was a really nice little revelation that I was unaware of. So yeah, these noodles are looking pretty good.
I'm stopping any alarms and timers that are ringing on my smartphone devices.
Wow, very, very verbose there, Google. All right, so let's get these noodles out of here. Hopefully those are good. And if they're not quite there, again, we can just kind of hit them with some hot water. And the longer they sit out, I'm going to hit them with a little bit of cold water actually right now to stop them from continuing to cook. Yeah, they're a little bit under. Probably should have tasted before I put it out of the water, but that's life. Let's get this pot back. Put a little bit of hot water in it. And we'll put the noodles back. And we'll just let those hang out. All right, cool. So we've got water, we've got lime juice, we need sugar. Again, we're kind of just going to eyeball this. Feel free to measure or not. But give this a little stir. The nice thing about making these two recipes together is that there's a lot of common prep. So this is the same sauce for both. We need the carrots for both. We need a bunch of the herbs for both. So this is some nice overlap. So doing all the prep together makes it easy. Ooh, not enough sugar. Woo! Still very tart. Another little mix here. Oh, thank you, Beth. 1 to 1 to 4 for lemon juice, sugar, and water. Okay, cool. So yeah, we weren't quite there with the sugar. All right, let's give it a try. Yep, delicious. Okay, so maybe even a little too much sugar, but I'm sure it'll chill out. We're gonna add a little bit of fish sauce. There's a million different types of fish sauce. I like this red boat stuff. It's pretty strong, so sometimes you need to kind of ease your way into it. You can't necessarily use it exactly 1 for 1 with other fish sauces, but it's good. It's a little expensive now because people have figured out that it's quite delicious. This should be a little bit saltier. And for this sauce, I don't usually ever add salt. If I need it to be saltier, I'll just add more fish sauce. Let's give it a try. Okay, yeah. So now it's like you can taste a little sweet, a little sour, a little salty. Really good. All right. So the other things that go in there are garlic and hot chilies. So I'm pretty lazy. I could easily cut up the garlic by hand, but I don't really feel like it. So I'm gonna use this little Breville thing. This is an immersion blender, but it comes with this little cup that has a mini food processor, which is very, very handy. And then I'm way too lazy to peel garlic, so I always buy this pre-peeled stuff, which, you know, the quality ranges pretty widely depending on if it's, you know, from Spain or from China or wherever. But it's usually pretty good. So let me see if I can do this while you guys can see it here, like this. And there we go. We got a bunch of pretty nicely diced garlic with almost zero effort. And then the only thing I will recommend is once you've done that, go ahead and get the garlic out of there and give the bowl a rinse, because if you let it just completely dry, it's an absolute nightmare to clean. So we'll just get the garlic out and we will dump this. And again, you don't actually have to like wash it, but as long as you get some water on it, it'll make your life much easier. So then we'll take some of this, put a little bit of that in there. I do have these lovely little Thai chilies, which I will add a bit of these to give it a little bit of kick. Cool. Yeah. All right, we'll save our garlic for later. Give this a little stir. And then I'm making this now instead of like right before we eat, just so it has a little bit of time to like soak up the garlic flavor and the chili flavor. Yeah, I still think I added too much water to that at the very beginning, but it's gonna be delicious. I'm not concerned. All right, so we've still got a little bit of time on these noodles. They don't need to be like fully good, because they are going to get deep fried, which will cook them a bit more, and there's going to be moisture in all of the veggies and stuff. I'm going to try these noodles. Yeah, no, I should have boiled these a little bit longer. Those are definitely not, they still got a lot of bite to them, so not ideal, but we will persevere. All right, moving right along. We want to also, before I forget, there's these woodier mushrooms. These are like kind of a funky, they don't actually say they're woodier mushrooms, but these like dried black fungus strip is what you want. So again, we're going to go ahead. Should have done this when I started soaking everything else, because now we might have to wait on these. But alas, can't always be perfectly prepared. All right, so these, I'm just gonna put, you know, a decent amount of these in here. And these kind of have like a nice, like, funky, like chewy texture, which sounds bad, but honestly it's quite good. Like, it gives it like a really interesting flavor and texture, which is what I said twice now. Anyways, you're gonna love it. They're great. Highly recommended. This is what it looks like while it's soaking. Ta-da. All right, so now that we've got that, actually I lied. I did prep a couple other things. There's this is daikon radish and carrot, just with some rice vinegar and sugar, so sort of like a little quick pickle. I did not boil the rice vinegar. It's literally just room temperature, so that's hopefully going to pickle itself pretty good. I also cooked some shrimp, which these are going to be for the summer rolls, and then I've got some other shrimp that are still raw that I'm going to use for the Imperial rolls. So I guess we might as well, since we've got a decent amount of time to wait for those noodles and mushrooms, we can go ahead and slice I like to slice some of the shrimp in half like this, just so they're not too thick in the rolls, and also you can kind of get more out of it. So we don't need to do all of these probably, but you know, we'll do a couple. All right, so that's probably good. So we'll just keep those off to the side here. All right. What else do we need? We probably need to chop up some scallions. Yeah, we can go ahead and get started, I guess, on the filling for the Imperial rolls. So we'll go ahead and set a bowl here. What do we need for this? All right, so we're going to do our carrot. It's probably about yay much carrot. About that much, maybe a little bit more jicama. And if people want, I can show how I dice this up or how I julienne this. Not super complicated, but it definitely does take a little bit of practice to. I didn't do it, you know, unbelievably beautifully, but you know, it's good enough for something that's going to get rolled up and deep fried. What did I come over here for? The pork. Excellent. It drives me a little bit crazy when recipes call for like half a pound of meat, especially something like pork where it can be awkward to buy less than a pound. Most of the time I end up just throwing in the whole pound anyways. I'm not going to do that today because that's really going to wildly throw off the ratio of this recipe, but I'm going to do a little bit more than it calls for because I have a little bit more shrimp than it calls for. So we'll go ahead and throw like a little bit more than half of this block in there. We'll put this off to the side, and then we'll wash the hands. Get these noodles out of here. And then I did just use that knife. So now, well, I guess I could have waited till after I did the shrimp, but that's fine. Now we'll take these shrimp. Running a little bit out of space here. Somewhat complicated. Where did I get the dried black fungus strips? Those I went to like an Asian supermarket in Lynn. I have to imagine that you could easily find them on Amazon, or pretty much any Asian supermarket should have them. They're a fairly common thing, so shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, like I definitely was trying to look for woodier mushroom or woodier fungus, and that was totally unsuccessful because none of the packages said that. So I ended up looking at the Mandarin or whatever, you know, characters for the woodier fungus, and it matched up to what was on the container. So that was my best guess at it, and it seems to be fine. Seems to be the right thing. So again, we're gonna kind of just split these shrimp in half. For those of you who are close friends, we have a really silly game that we play that you've probably heard us talk about called the shrimp game, where we try to get each other to say the word shrimp in response to a question. It is a ridiculous game that it is absolutely hilarious, and Beth is extremely bad at, and Ellie is extremely good at. And so yes, we're constantly trying to get each other to say shrimp. So I expect at some point during this, Beth will attempt to get me to say shrimp via either the chat or by walking out of her office. But I am declaring this shrimp safe space. I don't know why I started chopping it like this. This is not what I meant to do. I meant to chop this much more evenly, but here we are, chopping it randomly. It'll be fine. You kind of want like piece is not much bigger than about 1/2 inch, ideally a little bit smaller than that. So that's looking pretty good to me. All right, so we'll go ahead and get this in our bowl. This is going to make a lot of rolls. I hope I have enough. I hope I have enough wraps. I probably should. I have like 1 million of them. All right. Go ahead and check in on our noodles here. All right. These noodles still feel like they're a little firm, but that's okay. We have plenty of time for them to they're on their way. How's that fungus? Fungus is doing its fungus thing. How are these guys doing? These are still pretty firm, but we're okay with that. All right, let's clean this up. And by clean up, I mean throw in the sink and deal with later. I do generally try to clean up as I go when I'm cooking, but I also know that watching somebody clean is not the most exciting, even if they're telling silly anecdotes and funny. Oh, poorly labeled Chinese ingredients at the actual Latin name on the package. Huh, somewhere. Yeah, I'll often try to check the ingredients, or like sometimes they'll like slap like a translated label over the top that's like very indecipherable, but will occasionally have some helpful clues. All right, so what are we missing here? So we've got most of that scallion, garlic, sugar, salt, and pepper. All right, let's do those while we are waiting for everything to so shallots, these are like the littlest, tiniest, little babyish shallots that I've ever seen in my whole life. They're extremely adorable, and I'm excited to use them. So I think probably it does say 1 small shallot, so that's pretty perfect. You kind of treat this just like an onion, although it's a little bit obnoxious when they're this small. I'm grateful that I don't have to do more of these. And it's also really annoying because sometimes you lose like the whole outer layer when you go to peel off the papery skin. This one seems to be cooperating though. All right. Very good. Let's get all this stuff out of here. One other thing I really like to do is have like a nice bowl, like especially like a nice big bowl off to the side as like a compost thing, so I'm not constantly having to go under the sink or wherever you keep your compost to get rid of stuff. All right, so I think it said finely chopped. Yeah, so again, basically like you would do an onion, there's lots of little, you know, slices the same size that you want the finished product. For ones this small, I definitely don't go this way. It's totally not necessary. I do usually do them one at a time, so this is a little bit silly of me, but it's fine. It seems to be working out. All right, cool. So, 1 shallot in the bowl. Nice. All right, and then what else do we need here? A couple cloves of garlic. I don't think we need garlic for anything else, and if we do, we'll just do more. So we'll put the rest of the garlic in there, which you guys weren't able to see. Whoops. Then we'll do some scallions, which are packaged really sort of annoyingly. All right. Get this back out of here. For whatever reason, this the recipe that I'm using, so this is the Serious Eats one, doesn't want the whites of the scallions, so that's a little odd. Usually the whites are the best part, in my opinion. We're gonna ditch them and go with just the green. It does say 2 scallions, but you know what? I'm overriding. I like scallions. Although they do have a decent amount of water content, so I guess we won't go too crazy. That should be good. A little bit awkward throwing stuff out of the frame here, but you guys know what's going on. It's going in the bowl. It's all going in the bowl. All right, so then let's see, tablespoon of sugar. That's about gonna be something around, yay. Then some salt. Pretty decent amount of salt. Make sure it tastes good. And some black pepper. All right. Cool. So let's see. How are these doing? All right. So the bean thread noodles feel pretty good. They're not like fully soft, but they're soft enough that they'll probably be fine. And the wood ear mushrooms are definitely soft. So I'm feeling pretty comfortable with that. We're going to go ahead and chop up these wood ears. Get as much of the water out of them as I can. All right. And like I said, these are a little bit chewy, so you don't really want to have like big pieces of them. But again, they're going to add just like a nice like little texture. It would be hard to come by from almost anything else. They have almost like a, I don't know if you've ever had like pig ear. They've almost got that like snap to them. Pig ear is delicious if it's done right. This is looking pretty good to me. Cool. Let's see that somebody said something. Let's see. What are the most common proteins in summer rolls? Great question. Most of the time you'll see tiny crustaceans. Nice try. You'll see like pork. You'll see chicken. My favorite is like it's like a ham with like a little fried like stick, almost like a little dough stick. Those are so good. Hopefully I didn't add too much wood ear, but you know what? It's going to be great. So then I think that other than the noodles, let's just double check here. We have jicama, carrots. Don't have the noodles yet, but we're going to. We got the shrimp, pork, shallot, scallion, garlic, sugar, salt. Cool. All right, so now we're just going to take these noodles. Again, try to get as much of the water out as we can here. And then we do want to chop these up a little bit, just so they're not super large. Then right in. Cool. All right, so then I'm just going to go ahead and mix this all up. I think you can make this filling like way in advance. And then actually you can probably make the spring rolls or the Imperial rolls themselves, but don't cook them and just freeze them. And that way you can just fry them right out of the freezer, which I might end up doing because I probably not going to be able to eat as many of these as I'm prepared to make here. This is looking pretty yummy. I'm so excited for these. I can't express enough how much I love to eat these. So hopefully they don't all explode in the fryer and we get to have tasty snacks. All right, this is looking nice. All right, so the only thing we want to do beyond this is I'm going to take a little bit out of here. And of course now my hands are complete nightmare zone. So do the old one-handed rinse wash. Get a plate. And we'll throw this in the microwave. You can do the same thing for when you're making dumplings. And basically I'm just gonna like blast this for like 45 to 60 seconds. and then taste it. That's going to be what the filling is going to taste like once it's been fried. Because nobody really wants to eat raw pork and raw shrimp. I mean, raw shrimp can be good. Raw pork, less so. Although trichinosis has mostly been eliminated as... Oh, yikes. Making a lot of noise in there. All right, we'll get this off to the side. Ready for this little flippy. Skillings out of here. Bum, bum, bum. All right. So then you end up with this little like happy little meatball thing. And it's probably gonna be super hot. It is in fact super hot. But yum. Yeah, that tastes about right. And seasoned well. It's got enough salt. It's got enough sugar. The funny thing about the Imperial rolls is you add soda to the water to make it brown a little bit more, I believe. Or beer. Or maybe soda. I've made a huge mess for myself here. Using all the paper towels. It's fabulous. Okay. Cutting board, mostly clean-ish. All right, where are we at? We need to make some peanut sauce. We need to fry our spring rolls. What else do we need to do? We need to make our summer rolls, you know. Pretty good stuff. I'm feeling much better about the timing now. All right, so let's go ahead and I guess we'll form Imperial rolls first. So that's gonna look like a little bit of water, warm water. Really making quite the disaster zone in here. Then I've got a little ginger ale, which is the soda that I'm going to use. I think it said something like half a cup. This seems like half a cup. Then I am quite parched, so I will hydrate myself. All right, very good. So, basically what we're going to be doing here is taking these rice papers, failing to open them correctly. There we go. So again, I have made the summer rolls, but I have not made these. So we're gonna figure this out as we go. And I think there's like a very minor difference between how they get wrapped up. So first of all, these don't need to, I know you can't see these in this camera, but over here, these don't need to be fully soft from the water while you're putting it in the water. As it absorbs this water that we just put it in, it'll get softer and softer. And if you leave it in the water for too long, it's going to get way too soft and fall apart. So that's not what we want. So we're going to take some of this. I want to say maybe that much-ish. And for these, we're going to do side, and then roll up from the bottom. And you want to make sure you get as much air as possible out of these, because these are the ones that are absolutely going to explode. And I definitely did not do an amazing job at this one, but that's going to be our first one. Could have been worse, could have been better. We'll get some practice here. But both moisture and air are the enemy here. We want as little as possible of both, because obviously the moisture is going to turn to steam, which is going to expand a ton. And if there's already a bunch of space for it to do that, it's just going to like fill that space as much as it can. And that's going to be a sad situation. So for the summer rolls, we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to go up from the bottom first. So this one actually I didn't quite let it soak a little bit or long enough. So we're going to let this one hang out for a second. And I'm probably only going to do, I don't know, maybe 8 of these right now so that we can move on to other things. All right, so that one I did a little bit better job of keeping it nice and free of air bubbles, although the side leaves a little bit to be desired there, and they're also like comically different shapes. But again, the only way to get better at this is to do it a bunch of times. Hopefully you guys can't hear Maisie whining outside. She's no longer interested in lounging in the sun, apparently. All right, let's try to do this one better than the last. All right. So again, probably could have gone a little bit longer in the liquid. Yeah, this is like not malleable enough. Still kind of like crinkly like paper. Give it a little bit. And these spring roll wrappers are extraordinarily old. They're almost certainly expired. And so that probably, yeah, expired in 2023. So probably could have, spared the like $2 to buy new ones, but I know if I did that, Beth might have murdered me. So we're using these. Oh, funny, the left side is much stiffer than the right side now. All right, do our best. That one seemed not, maybe a nice little happy medium between those two. Okay. All right, so we're gonna leave this one in the water for a little bit longer. We're gonna go like 10 seconds. These are stuck together. All right. Very good. You do want to watch out for like when there's a stray piece of carrot or jicama like poking out, because you definitely don't want it to tear a hole. This one is, I've done better. All right. Here we go. Sure, why not? So certainly for the summer rolls, they are like a make and eat type of deal. You do not want to like be making those in advance, because the skins will get super dry and just like tough and chewy and not at all pleasant. A lot of shops will sell like pre-made summer rolls, and I don't think I've ever had one that's been any good, which is kind of a bummer. But when they're fresh, especially like I said, if you're having like a little dinner party and you like set this, well, not this one. This one's a little bit more complicated, but when we do the summer rolls, you'll see it's just nice. Everybody gets to pick their own ingredients and kind of express themselves and fail a little bit at making these, and just kind of have a good fun entertaining time. Highly recommended. All right, we'll do this one and one more, and then we'll move on to the summer rolls while we get some oil heated up to fry these. All right. Okay. I mean, it's not like a work of art, but I'm starting to feel slightly more comfortable with this. I do think these all need to be much more even and more tightly rolled. I do have a lot of concerns that these are gonna puff up and potentially explode, but yeah, I mean that's life when you're deep frying, I guess. All right, so this is gonna be the last one that we do. We'll do 6. Seems like a good number. All right, here we go. Last one. Beautiful. All right, and even though, so the ends on this one are a little sad, but it might have been the best one I did. And that's about the right size, I think, in terms of, how, long and wide it should be. So I feel pretty happy with that. So we'll get those out of there, off onto a plate. You could put some parchment or something on there if you wanted to make sure they weren't going to stick, but I'm prepared to live dangerously. And they're already stuck. All right, good. And it will be nice letting these kind of dry a little bit. They're already actually starting to dry a decent amount, these first ones. Actually, this first one that I made, this might actually be the best one. All the rest of these are a little bit hee-haw. This one's a little too wide. These are a little sloppy, especially this one where the end is kind of like, you can see it's definitely going to open up. But like, yeah, if I had made them all like this first one, I think I'd be much happier. But again, practice is all we can do. All right, while I get ready to do the summer rolls, I think I'm going to go ahead and get, how am I going to fry these? Because I need to do that here. Just out of the way. All right. Let's check these noodles. See if they've. Yeah, still need a little bit more time. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do the summer rolls last, and we're gonna do. I'm literally out of all counter space, which is incredible. All right, so the big unknown here is, can I use this without blowing a fuse? Because if I blow a fuse, everything is going to turn off, including the stream, which will be extremely sad. So here's to hoping that that doesn't happen. But it's always a chance. All right, so I'm cheating and using this really fancy induction burner. It makes deep frying especially just like an absolute breeze because it has this little temperature probe that tells me, or that sets the oil temp perfectly. So this thing is great. It's ridiculously expensive, but I would buy it again in a heartbeat. All right, so we're gonna go 350 on this. And wait for that to heat up. And in the meantime, I guess we will make, all right, I'm gonna do something dangerous here, and I'm gonna move this with the oil on top so that I can get this bowl and we'll make some peanut sauce while we wait for that to heat up. So the peanut sauce is kind of a choose your own adventure situation. You can follow a recipe, obviously, but I think it's kind of fun to just do whatever you like. And literally you can add just about anything you want. I mean, soy sauce, rice vinegar, sesame oil. It's all well and good. We're gonna do some peanut butter, some sriracha, some lime juice, some garlic that I forgot that I was going to need and probably won't actually do because I'm feeling a little bit too lazy to do that again, even though it's the laziest thing imaginable. Where did my citrus reamer go? There it is. So we'll do a little bit lime juice, maybe some more lime juice. A lot of recipes for this will call for sugar. That seems a little bit crazy to me. I mean, I guess there's no reason why you couldn't put sugar in, but peanut butter is already fairly sweet. So, you know, you do you. But what else do I want to put in here? Well, I guess let's put some hot water so it's actually like peanut sauce texture. And I'll try not to do too much water like I did with the other sauce, which I suppose we should give a taste to now to see how it's doing. Oh yeah, that's yummy. I do still think, ooh, those chilies are spicy. I do still think it needed less water, but that's life. So this can be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get started, but it will eventually come together. You can use a whisk. It's probably a better idea. I like to splash myself with peanut sauce water, so I'm gonna use a spoon. Whoop. There we go. And you can use chunky, you can use smooth. We usually only have smooth in the house, so I guess if you wanted to add some like chopped peanuts or something in that case, like, why not? This is looking pretty good. Let's taste. All right, we need some stuff. It's too sweet, so we're gonna add a little bit of fish sauce. It's definitely too sour, so I might end up having to add some more peanut butter. I'll probably add some rice vinegar, or no, that's just gonna make it more sour. I don't know. We'll figure this out. What does that need? It does need garlic. It's pretty annoying. Fine. I don't want to use that cutting board. Okay, all right. I knew I was going to need more garlic. I knew I shouldn't have followed my own advice. But here we are, doing it again. Please don't trip the breaker. That'd be very, very sad. Oh, scallions could be good. All right. A little garlic in there. You can also use like chili garlic paste. Be real tasty. All right, it's a little bit better. I'm gonna put a little bit of soy. I don't think soy is very traditional. I think it makes it a little bit nicer. Also changes the color a bit. Like how the camera keeps going in and out of focus because of my hand. That's good. All right. Yeah, that's pretty tasty. Okay, so the oil is now hot. Perfect timing oil. Let's just slide you back over here extremely carefully. Okay, here's the moment of truth. I'm a little bit nervous about the fact that my phone is right here. But you know, no risk, no reward, right? So we are going to oh so carefully deposit these into the oil and just hope that they don't have an issue. I really hope they don't stick to the bottom. This oil is not super deep. This was a bad idea. I've got my laptop right here. Oh man. Okay, well. They're kind of sticking together a little bit. Hopefully they will come apart as they crisp up. Hey Google, start a timer for 8 minutes.
Sure, 8 minutes. And we're starting now.
Oh, that one needs to not be the way that it is so much. All right, well, we're frying and we're getting the steam in the camera and everybody's happy. This is exciting. All right, so rather than have you watch that for 8 minutes, which doesn't seem like maybe the best, we'll go ahead and start our summer rolls. We're gonna go ahead and slide the actively frying. Sometimes I do stuff and I wonder why I do it. Like this is just extraordinarily dangerous. All right, great. Please stop touching, please. Please. I maybe put too many of these in here. Yeah, that one's gonna be a little sad if it doesn't actually fry. But you know, we're learning. We're making mistakes. All right, back to our summer roll programming. We are not going to have enough space for this. Eee! And I also need water. Which I'm going to put just right in front of the old laptop here. What could go wrong? You guys wanna be nice? You guys wanna not all just be one giant pile? Okay, sure. No, they want to be one giant pile. All right. Good. Good, good, good. Okay. Summer rolls. here goes nothing. So these are pretty similar. We're gonna do the water that's not, it doesn't have the soda. And I have like nothing ready to go, but we're gonna figure it out. So a lot of fresh herbs. I've got cilantro. I've got Thai basil, which is weirdly rubber banded in here. I'm just gonna put stuff every which way. Some people put lettuce in them. I usually tend not to. We're gonna put some of this. I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna try doing some of this pickled carrot and daikon in there to give that a try. And then we're gonna do our little shrimpy boys, which again, we're like running out of space here, and this is now, that's a little bit too long, but it's gonna be okay. All right, so actually it feels all right. Somehow actually maybe even not long enough. I don't know what's going on here. Half of it is good and half of it's not. Very strange. All right, so again, kind of just, oh, and our noodles. I gotta get the noodles. All right, this has got to be done by now, and if it's not, well, they're gonna be a little tough. Okay, so in my copious amounts of space, we are going to start with some noodles. We're going to put a little bit more herbs than that. That's mint. That's cilantro. Here's our Thai basil. We'll get our little shrimpies. And if you put these kind of like above it, it makes it look a little bit nicer. So then the biggest difference here is instead of going the sides first, we're going to go up from the bottom and then kind of pull down. And then we can put our sides in. And then, wow, this is just like a absolutely garbage. Wow, that's maybe the worst summer roll I've ever rolled. You guys, really fantastic work here. That's a clown show. All right, great. Well, awesome. Let's take a look at these. These are looking delicious. Much better than the summer roll for sure. All right. So these are very stuck together. Hopefully I can wrangle them apart once I get them out of the oil. Definitely wanted to use a bigger container or fry them fewer at a time. Let's make another summer roll. Let's try to do a little bit better job. This vermicelli is a lot thicker than what I usually use. Normally it's like a very thin noodle. I guess I wasn't paying attention when I grabbed the package, but that's life. It's going to be great still. Although, God, this one is like, this is literally the saddest spring roll in history. But, tell you what, dip in a little peanut sauce. It tastes good. Peanut sauce still needs a little something. Yum. It's delicious. All right. Oh, I didn't even put veggies in there. Whoops. All right, let's try that again. I totally forgot about this. This is going to be way too soft. Man, I'm killing it today, guys. This is a professional at work. All right, let's go noodles. Let's try some of these pickled veggies. Let's get under the camera and go cilantro. Mint. Basil. All our little shrimpy boys. All right, let's try to do a better job. Let's aspire to be better. All right. So we'll tuck those guys under there. This still leaves a lot to be desired. Oh God. Oh jeez. Oh God. It's escaping. Not now, Google. Oh my God. Nope. 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 It's a disaster. It's a total disaster. This was way too soft. Stop. See? It worked. All right. Fold, fold. You guys stop looking at this. Nobody look at me. Stop the stream. Oh my God. I literally can't. I literally can't. It's a nightmare. It actually turned out better than the last one, but it's still garbage trash. Let's get these Imperial rolls out. I think I actually successfully cooked these and everything is happy. But again, rather stuck together. They didn't explode though, which is like sick. So this is what these look like. I'm pretty happy with these. I'm very excited to eat them. I'm also going to put them over there because I need to roll freaking spring roll, summer roll that isn't terrible. Because I know I'm capable of this. How did I cook the tiny crustaceans? I just poached them. Got some water on a rolling boil, turned it way down, threw them in, got totally distracted doing other prep, remembered them, turned off the water, meant to strain them, got distracted again, strained them, hit them with cold water, and they're pretty okay. They're maybe a little bit over, but not too bad. They're not like completely destroyed. Okay, I forgot about this again. You know, guys, stop distracting me. It's 100% your fault. It's not true. It's my fault. Okay, all right, focus. Focus. You've been training for this. That's too many noodles. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna blame these noodles. They're really quite ornery. I'm also going to take some of the lettuce for the Imperial rolls. Let's steal a little bit of this. Let's see if we can't use that to kind of like shimmy this together here. And then we'll get a little bit of everything else. All right, come on, get it together. We'll use full shrimp, you know, because they're just gonna send it. And then we're gonna go with some pickled veg. All right, this one is it's gonna work. It's gonna work. I can feel it. The texture is just right on the wrap. Okay, so that's much more like what you're looking for. It's still not perfect. You'd like it to be much tighter. I'd like to be able to see the shrimp across the top, but like, it's really all about getting the timing right for how long it sits in the water. Like 10, 15 seconds is pretty good. Again, hopefully you're buying fresh spring rolls and not using multiple year expired ones. That probably makes a difference. And again, the more you practice these, the better you're gonna get. If you get them at restaurants, sometimes they'll have like stuff poking out the side, but it's on purpose and it's pretty and it's artsy and they're very good at it. They roll literally thousands of them. But this looks great. This is, like I said, this you can use both the peanut sauce and the fish sauce. Sometimes what I'll do, I'll get a little crazy, and I'll dip it in the peanut sauce, take a bite. And then take some of the fish sauce and kind of do a little pour. And go a little bit more peanut. And that's what we're looking at. Doesn't that look good? Mm. Yeah, this was much better. Still not perfect, but again, part of the fun of these is learning and figuring it out. And especially if you do it as like a dinner party where it's a wide range of skill. Some people are going to have disaster, nightmare fire, garbage dump, spring rolls, summer rolls, and that's cool. And other people are going to have this. And other people are going to have made a million of these and, you know, they maybe worked at a restaurant or something. And they're all going to taste pretty similar. But so good. And not difficult. Just, you know, you just destroy your kitchen and your sanity. But only a little bit. But yeah. Oh, I need to eat an Imperial roll. They're probably still quite hot. But I need to eat one. And then we can be done. And you guys can go about your day. Whatever you're doing before this. I release you to the weekend. Oh. I did eat lunch today before doing this, which was crucial. Highly recommended not to try to do this on an empty stomach. That was rough last week. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Take a little lettuce. We're going to get some of this stuff out of the way because you don't need it. But there's literally no place to put it. Then we're going to take one of our Imperial rolls. I'm going to take some of our herbs. Make it nice and beautiful looking. God, this is going to burn my mouth, isn't it? Oh man, I'm so excited. Here we go. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That is yummy. Oh, it's so hot. Woo! Good job, everybody. I'm proud of you. Oh, I love these so much. All right, well, thank you for joining me. Hopefully I didn't go too wildly over time here. What time is it? 3:08. Nailed it. Just barely over. I've now got a whole heck of a lot of stuff to clean up. I'm also going to make probably the rest of these and fry some and freeze some. And, you know, if anybody is in the neighborhood and wants to come try making some summer rolls, please feel free to come over. This is delicious. Thanks again for joining. Probably do a little bit later next Friday, see how that goes, maybe 4 p.m. If people have times that are good or bad, feel free to let me know. Yeah, open to suggestions, comments, criticism, ideas, feedback, whatever. That's it. That's all I got. I'll see you guys next time.